The annual UN Climate Change Conference is nearing, and the Bahamas is planning to send a large delegation to get their important message across to the world. Our One Caribbean News' Deandra Hamilton reports.
With the 27th staging of the United Nations Climate Change Conference, COP27, less than a week away, the Bahamas has announced that it is ready and armored up with a total of about 70 delegates to address the issue of climate change at the event on every level.
During the COP, we will have members of civil society Bahamas who will be there. We will have members from the NGO community. We will have representation from the private sector, as well as we will have our youth delegates that are there. This COP is unique and it's historical in that the representation level is, like I said, very comprehensive, very diverse.
That was climate change advisor for the Bahamas, Rochelle Newbold. She was speaking at a press conference on Thursday, October 27th. In expressing her excitement for COP27, Newbold explained why it was important for the Bahamas to attend the event, noting that the only way countries can achieve their desired outcome is by being in the room.
Impacted by the work or the attitudes of one another. And when you have a small number of countries contributing to the impacts that is being affected by a host of other countries, it's important that those countries who are being impacted speak up.
In addition, the climate change advisor also stated that the Bahamas' main priority for COP27 is to seek climate financing.
But let's talk some real hard cash in the reality of where we stand, and that's the new and additional finances. We've all agreed that that is coming. What is that going to look like? We already see countries like Denmark putting aside 13.4 million euros to put towards loss and damage. That is a win.
Over 190 countries are slated to attend this year's staging. The event will be held in Egypt from November 6th through 18th. Deandra Hamilton reporting.
All right, thanks so much for that report, Deandra. Meantime, an initiative has been launched to safeguard women and girls in Guyana against gender-based violence and empower them to make decisions about their sexual and reproductive health. The $2.25 million Canadian dollar, Equal Sexual and Reproductive Health and Rights Project is a collaboration that involves the Guyana government, the United Nations Population Fund, and Canada. This one targets women and girls from regions 1, 7, 8, and 9, including Indigenous women and girls and Venezuelan migrants, people of diverse gender identities, gender expressions, and/or sexual orientations, as well as people living with disabilities, and sex workers will also have access to the program. The Minister of Human Services and Social Security said government will focus on the development of women and girls among vulnerable groups.
I believe this initiative, another partnership which sees international and local partners coming together to address the key issue of sexual and reproductive health and rights, could not have been timelier. I say this because it is concentrated in regions 1, 7, 8, and 9, where we do acknowledge, as a government, we need to amplify the efforts that have been made.
Now, Canadian High Commissioner to Guyana, Mark Berman, said that under the initiative, work will be done with public providers of healthcare and civil society to increase access to the quality of sexual and reproductive health services provided to rural women and girls throughout Guyana. The project will contribute to Guyana's achievement of Sustainable Development Goal 3, ensuring healthy lives and well-being for all Sustainable Development Goal 5, which is gender equality and empowerment of women and young girls. Well, switching gears now to the airline industry, United Airlines says the anticipated demands for mechanics, among other technicians, is so great that it's now launching a brand new apprenticeship program. This one's called Collaborate, and it's part of the airline's push to hire 7,000 technicians in the coming years. United currently has about 9,000 people in these roles, but it has announced major plans to expand its aircraft fleet and says retirements will impact its ranks. United said trainees will be employed and paid during the entirety of the program. Well, meantime, around 37 million Americans have diabetes, and the CDC says about 1 in 5 people don't even know that they have it, and the disease can lead to some serious health problems. So in honor of National Diabetes Month, Mandy Gaither has more on why health experts say self-care is key.
It's a disease that can strike at any age. Diabetes, which happens when a person's blood sugar is too high, is a serious health threat.
It can affect the eyes and the kidney and the heart, and is actually linked to certain types of cancer.
Managing the disease and preventing further complications isn't easy. That's why the National Institute of Diabetes, Digestive and Kidney Diseases says it takes teamwork between a patient and their doctors. Dr. Griffin Rogers says to remember the ABCs. A stands for A1C, a blood test that measures average blood sugar levels over the past 3 months.
And for most people with diabetes, we aim to keep that at about 7%.
B is for blood pressure. The CDC says most people with diabetes have high blood pressure. Rogers says managing it is critical.
So for most people with diabetes, keeping their blood pressure numbers less than 140/90 is a goal.
C is for cholesterol. Lifestyle changes like diet and exercise can help lower it. So can medicines like statins. Finally, S for not smoking.
Smoking and diabetes narrow the blood vessels and lead to the vascular damage that can cause problems in the kidneys and the eyes and the heart.